So I'm rescreening a screen, and the tools you'll need is this is a spline pusher inner thing. This is the spline. It's actually going to be way longer than that, but that's the spline. And then a razor blade to cut the screen. Anyway, and then I do this. I need a screwdriver for the corners. So what you'll do is you have to remove this spline out of there. And let me get a smaller screwdriver. And so what you'll do is with your little screwdriver, you're going to prop it up in here to grab the spline. And then you'll grab it, and then you just yank it all the way around. And then you'll pull the screen out. And so what I do is how I do my spline. You could do it all in one piece, but it's harder to push in these corners. So I do it in 4 separate pieces. So this one here, one of those over here, there, and there. Just makes it a lot easier. And to me it looks neater because the corners don't pop out as much. So anyway, I'll be back. Oh, got to take the screen out if I can. So you just pop that out and then pull it all out. Okay, so the screen I'm using, I took out a metal screen, which is there with all the spline, and I am putting in PET screen. This is more of a cloth than the actual metal, which I find harder to do, but you might find it easier to do than, or this might be harder for you than that. Excuse my dogs. They're not socialized too much. So what I did now is I put the screen over it that I'm going to use, and then I'm only going to cut it probably an inch, inch and a half, whatever, from this end to the actual screen, because you have to have a little bit of overlay. And then at the end, you'll wind up cutting it, so then it looks neat. So we'll be back. Okay, so I cut the screen to the size I want, and yeah, I probably cut it bigger than I needed, way bigger than I needed to. And then you'll take this. Do you see that silver tape? We love silver tape here. This is 123-year-old house, so we love the silver tape. Anyway, so you have a smooth end, and then you have one that has like a groove in it. So what you'll do is you'll push this screen with the smooth end into this opening right here, because that's where your spline's going to go to hold in your screen. So we'll do this, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Oh, and a good trick I learned is to put something kind of heavy just sitting on the screen. Okay, and you don't have to tighten the screen a whole lot, because then it'll bend the frame. Anyway, I'm going to be pushing the screen again into this groove with the smooth end, not the one with the groove in it. Do you see the little groove? There's a groove in there. This one's the smooth end. I'll be back. Okay, so I pushed the screen into the groove again with the smooth end of this tool. I don't know what it's called, but spline pusher in there. Anyway, so I pushed the screen in all the way around, and now it's time for me to put the spline in. Hold on, I'll be right back. So my screen is, it's almost perfect square. So what I did was I cut 4 of the splines for each side. And I cut them all to the same size. And then how you're going to do this, it's kind of hard for me to do this with one hand. But you cut it a little bit longer than the corner. And on each side, let's see if I could grab it and put it on there. And then this side will be a little bit longer. And then you're going to push all 4 of these sides in. And then you will have something that looks like a cross at the end, kind of like that. It's going to look like that. Okay. And I'm going to go and do this real quick, and then I'll be right back. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Now, when you push this spline in, you got to be careful not to go and ruin this screen on the inside, because that's the screen you're going to see. You're going to use this handy dandy tool again, but this one, you're going to use the one with the grooves on the inside to push the spline in. Remember, this side, the smooth side, was to push the screen in. The grooved side is to push the spline in the groove on the screen. Okay, we will be back. Okay, so I pushed the spline in the groove, so the screen is in there pretty good. So now to cut these corners, you make an X just like that, and then you're going to cut it straight through the corner. And when you do that, it'll cut both of them, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut all of the 4 corners, just like I had showed you previously. And so see how it cuts at an angle on the corners? Then what you'll do is you will get a flathead screwdriver. And then you push those corners in. So see how that goes? And this one, we'll do the same. We can push them both in at the same time. And then it just kind of seals the deal. Okay. So once I do that, so then what you'll do is, this is just what I do. Grab the one with the groove in it, and then after they're already sealed in the corners, then I just go run over the spline again. Okay? And then I'll be right back to show you how to cut the screen. Okay, so I'm back. So to cut the screen, you'll go from this corner, or go from a corner, and then slice it out this way. So I can't really do that while I'm holding my phone in my hand. So you would just do it kind of tight, and then you'd slice it out towards this corner. Same goes for this corner. You'd slice it out like that. Okay, going from this corner out, and then I'll show you. Okay, we're back. So now, see how the corners are sliced in the corner like that? Kind of just split. So what you'll do to cut this excess off, because you don't want to leave that. I mean, I guess you could. It's ugly, and that's not the proper way to do it. But so then you would take your razor blade, and it has to be sharp, and go put it between the spline and this excess right here. And you're going to kind of go at an angle and cut it like this. It's going to be cut like this. And you're going to just slice it. And you have to kind of hold on to this side while you're cutting. especially with the fabric one. And so I'll show you when I'm finished with this one side, but you're supposed to do all 4 sides. I'll be back. So here's the excess I cut off, and I cut it along this edge at an angle, remember, like this, into another little groove, and then it cuts it nice and neat. And then I'm going to do the other 3 sides, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I'm back, and I took off all the screen around the edges. And then who I am, the corners kind of lifted a little bit, so I just pushed them back in with the straight head screwdriver. Did that one. And here is our finished product. And it looks so pretty. And it's going to look so pretty up in the window. Anyway, that's how you do it. If you have any questions, message me and I'll help you out. Have a good day. Bye, guys.